Jennifer here from My Purpley Life, and it's my review Monday. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all this new product which I received recently. It is the KW Trio Adjustable 6-hole punch, which I use to punch holes for my inserts or any papers that I would need in my planner. I've already punched some here just to show you guys an example, but basically I printed out some inserts that I wanted to use and I hole punched them with this hole punch, and it just makes it so much easier than using a single hole punch. I did do a review on the Rapesco adjustable diary punch, which I'll be doing a comparison on in just a little bit, but I wanted to try this adjustable 6-hole punch, which one of my viewers has recommended to me. So I contacted the company and they gave me this one to review for you all. Again, I was surprised that it was the KW Trio because I purchased this from the Time System US website, and I'll be listing their website down below in the description bar so you guys can check them out. But it does say here for diaries and organizers. Let me zoom in here for you guys so you can see this more closely. Now the thing about this punch is that it punches 5.5 millimeter holes. Filofax paper, I believe, is 5 millimeter holes, but don't be alarmed by the 5.5. It will still be just right for your planner. It won't feel as if it's you know, moving around too much because of the hole size. It'll be just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys what it looks like. So this is it here. It has this very nice slick satin finish to it. It's black all around. I'm actually gonna open this bottom one here. So that's how you would open up the bottom to dump out any of those little confetti there. But the reason why I wanted to try this punch out is because of this mechanism right here, which I will go over. Let me just put this back in here like so. Now when I flip this over, you can see that it has these grooves here on the side of the punch. Now the reason for that is when you punch your paper, you will align it with these grooves, which I'll show you in just a little bit. And the thing is that this punch can punch up to A5 size paper. So this is why I really wanted to try it out, because it has this little lever which is on the side of the punch here. So you just pull that out and it slides out. And you can feel a little bit of resistance, but you can feel a little click once you get to the size that you want. I'm just going to pull this out to show you guys that there are different sizes there. So I want to punch an A5 size paper. So I'm going to slide this back. You can hear that. I don't know if you guys can hear that clicking, but so that's set at A5. So when I go to punch an A5 size paper, I have an A5 size paper here, just a blank sheet, which I cut from a letter size paper. I'm just gonna align the edge of the paper right there and put that right into, let me set this also, the edge right here. Also, what you want to do before you punch is you want to set this to the paper size that you want. I want to punch an A5, so I'm going to move these mechanisms here to the outermost edge, and you will hear a click once you do that. If I wanted to punch a personal size, I would move it once, If I wanted to punch a pocket size, I would squeeze it together, and that's how you would be able to punch different sizes of paper. So again, I'm going to punch A5, so I want to slide that all the way out. And then I'm going to put my paper in. Make sure it's to that edge right there, and then you would just punch. And then now you have an A5 size paper. Let me take my organizer and just make sure that that really does fit there. Let me zoom out here. Let me grab my organizer. And let's just open this up and put in that A5 size paper. So let's say you have paper that you just want to put in like that, you can simply do that. So that worked out great. Again, there's no issues with the holes being too big there, so that's great. Now I'm going to show you guys how to punch a personal size. So I'm going to slide this little guide back in, and then I'm going to slide these in once. You'll hear like a little, you feel a little click once you do that. Now I'm going to take my personal size paper just so you guys can see how that lines up there. So that's how it's going to line up there. Now the thing is, when I want to punch this paper, what I'm going to do is that once I put the paper inside, again, I'm going to see these grooves right here, and that's going to tell me where I need to put the paper so that it's not just free floating anywhere. I want the edge of the paper to be about right there and right there, the outermost grooves. I'm just going to take a regular sheet of personal size paper that's already pre-cut and simply put that in. Kind of look at the edge. I want it to be about right there, and just punch that, and there you go. Voila, just like that. I'm going to take my personal size organizer or compact size organizer and then just slide that right in. See how easy that was. And then if I wanted to punch a pocket size, then I would squeeze these together. I don't have pocket size paper, so I'm just taking an old insert here. I'm going to put that in. And the thing is, since this paper is so small, you're going to use the innermost grooves. They are a bit wider, so you just want to put that right at the edge there. It's going to be a little bit smaller than what's on the grooves, so use your best judgment. That should be okay. It looks like it's going to be okay. So when I fold this, yep, it looks like it aligned just right. Now let's compare this to the Rapesco Diary Punch, which is this one right here. Right off the bat, you guys can see that the whole punch is a little bit smaller. And that's because the Rapesco does not punch A5 size paper. It can, but you have to do a little bit of some playing around with to punch A5. So I would take out the paper tray holder, I'd flip this over, I'm going to get a A5 size paper here. And then what I would have to do is I would have to punch one side of the paper like so, and then switch over and then punch the top like that. And the thing with that is that I would need an A5 size paper behind it, so that way I would know where I'm punching. So for example, I would do that so I could see where the holes would be. I would align it here and then punch, so that I would punch that and then I would punch the bottom. Versus the KW Trio, what I could do again is just open up that slider, or open up that guide, slide my paper in to the edge of that guide, and then punch. So, oops, I did that wrong. But basically you get the idea. It would be that much faster because I would just slip my paper and then punch. Anyways, versus having to take the paper tray out and then flip it upside down, yada yada. So that's the advantage of having the KW Trio. Another difference with the Rapesco punch is, as you can see, it does not have those little grooves on the side here. So when I need to punch, let's say, a personal size paper, let me zoom out here just a little bit. I would put the paper in, but I would have to guess where to punch the paper. It does have this little groove here on the side, or I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's a little indentation. But that's just telling me where the middle of the paper is. I still have no idea. I'm just gonna guess it's right there and hope for the best. Versus the KW Trio, where again it has those grooves. So if I were to put in the paper, I would know, okay, I need to set the paper about right there and right there. Again, with the Rapesco, I would just have to eyeball it with that middle marker right there. So if you are like me and need accuracy, I would definitely go with the KW Trio. Same thing for the pocket size. If I were to punch a pocket size, squeeze these two together. It has the same type of mechanism, so I would squeeze these two together like so. Pretty much looks the same from this end, but when it comes to punching the pages, again, I would have to kind of just guess where the middle of the paper is and go from there. Once you get the packaging, there is a big difference. You can see the Rapesco is that much bulkier versus the KW Trio. But once you open it up, they're pretty much the same. There's no too much of a big difference besides the length of the punch itself. The KW Trio does feel a little bit heavier, but that's probably because it's bigger. Also, the Rapesco has a more matte finish to it, which I like, and it has these grooves to kind of help you when you're punching the page with one hand and you're holding the paper, and when you're holding the paper in one hand and then you're punching, that's easy to do, punch with one hand. Versus the KW Trio has this satin finish to it. You can already see all my fingerprints on it. You can punch with it. It does feel a little bit bigger and bulkier, but you don't have that grip when you're punching versus the Rapesco, which has that. Another noticeable difference is that the Rapesco has its branding everywhere. Rapesco, versus the KW Trio. If you were to just pick this up and you wanted to know what brand it was, you wouldn't know because it doesn't even say KW Trio anywhere on it. So that's that. Let me think. And then the Rapesco, it punches 6mm holes. So if you're already worried about the hole size with the paper with the KW Trio, which punches 5.5mm, this punches 6.6mm, which is, I think, the average hole punch, single hole punch. But again, Filofax paper is 5mm, 5.5, 6mm. It's really not that big of a deal, but just so you know that there is a difference when you punch paper and all of a sudden you're like, why are the holes so big? Well, there you go. Also, price difference. The KW Trio, since it does have a little bit more functionality as far as that little paper guide and it punching A5 size paper, the price is going to be a little bit more expensive. It's $27.99, and the Rapesco punch goes for less than $20, about $18 or so, $18 to $19. So there is a big price difference there. Both are really great punches. I've tested them out all week and I do like both of them, but if I were to be punching A5 pages, I would definitely get the KW Trio and do that. But if you don't punch as often and you wouldn't mind using a more affordable punch, I would definitely get the Rapesco. You can, again, punch A5. You would just have to do a little bit more work into doing that. But otherwise, they are both available in the US. So if you are in the US, Rapesco, you can get this punch off Amazon.com. And again, I will be posting their links down below in the description bar so you guys can check that out. The KW Trio is available through timesystem.us, and when you look for the punch, it's going to be called an A5 Business and Compact Punch. It will not say KW Trio. So that's why, again, I was surprised when I got the KW Trio box because I thought the KW Trio punches were only available in the UK. So I'm really glad that they are available through them. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.